You're listening to the Erica M. McAfee podcast, where we share stories of grief and loss due to miscarriage, infant loss, stillbirth, and journeys of trying to conceive and infertility. Welcome to episode 9 of the Erica M. McAfee podcast. October is right around the corner, and October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. And today's podcast is brought to you by mybabyexisted.com. Go to mybabyexisted.com to download your free meme, download it, and upload your pictures to your favorite social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and use the hashtag MyBabyExisted. We remember our angel babies all month long and honor their existence in our hearts and minds. In today's episode, Cathleen Richardson shares her stillbirth story and how she is honoring other stillbirth moms through her blog, stillmom.net. She is hosting a charity Vegas-themed event in her daughter McKensie's honor named Kenzie Royale. Kenzie Royale is being held on September 23rd, 2017 in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and is a night of Vegas fun. The proceeds of the event honoring stillbirth moms will go to the Star Legacy Foundation, a foundation that has helped Kathleen on her healing journey. Kathleen wants to help others, especially those who feel alone on this journey. Her favorite quote to live by is Brian Tracy, which states, "You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new." In my interview with Kathleen, we discussed the truth about grieving for your child and then returning to the corporate workplace, and how her loss has changed her life for the better. Welcome, Kathleen, to the podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
No problem. So, as I do in most of my podcasts, I ask everyone to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you can transition into your lost story.
Okay. So I'm Cathaleen. I'm 26 years old. I graduated from Fayetteville State University. Go Broncos. I used to work at Hertz Corporation. I used to write policies and procedures, and something that's really boring, and just wasted my communication degree. Then I worked with the company for like 4.5 years, and kind of just was stagnant and comfortable. I always said I wanted to write a blog, but just never really got into it. And then when I found out last year in May, I was like, this is the perfect time to write a blog. I'm about to be a mom. I just entered grad school. I just got a new promotion with my company. Like, this is the perfect time to write a blog and talk about how you can be a mom and still pursue your dreams. Mm-hmm. So, I was pregnant. My job ended up moving me during my pregnancy. I was started off my first 20 weeks of pregnancy in DC.
Oh, okay.
I moved to Florida.
Oh, okay.
And so I was pregnant. The rest of my pregnancy was in Florida. Not December, but January the 2nd, I had, just feeling, this motherly instinct. So I was just like, something's not right. I was like, I told my husband, I was like, you know what? I think it's time I need to go to the hospital because something is not sitting right with me. Mm-hmm. And when I got to the hospital, actually, I tell people just to kind of lighten up the mood. I tell them that I left my husband at home because he wasn't moving fast enough for me. So I left him at home, and he met me at the hospital. And I, remember the doctor and the nurse just kept looking at each other, giving each other different eyes. And I'm just like, okay, is there something I need to be worried about right now? Because at this point, I was 38 weeks and 4 days. Wow. So I was like, is there something I need to be worried about? And they was like, well, we just want to get an ultrasound tech because we see something, but we don't. So we see movement, we don't see movement. So we just want to get an ultrasound tech. So then, the ultrasound tech came in, and they kept asking, where's my husband? And I was just like, oh, he's on his way. He'll be here shortly. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as my husband got here, the ultrasound tech came in. and they did the ultrasound, and then that's when they confirmed that they couldn't find a heartbeat. And right then and there, I was just like, what do you mean you can't find, a heartbeat? Like, I'm literally 11 days shy from my due date, and I have carried McKenzie for this long, and you're telling me now my daughter's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, that took a very big toll on just who I was as a person, because I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I just always had a vision of how my life would go,
mm-hmm.
and how things go. And it's always like everything I go for, I get it. So
mm-hmm.
when I found out, I faced questions like, am I still going to be a mom? Am I not a mom anymore? Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, this is my first child. I was like, do I plan the funeral? Do I not plan the funeral? And I even battled, decisions like, do I still give her name, or do I just not give her a name? It was like so many things running through my mind. And mind you, as I said earlier, me and my husband moved to Florida. We didn't have family. Our family is in Virginia and D.C. and North Carolina. So we were facing this by ourselves, because it took, at least a day to 2 days for people to start coming down to us, because we're so far away from family. So neither one of us kind of knew, like, what's next. And so for I say this to say why I'm not working with my job anymore, is because I just don't feel like they understood how to handle a grieving parent. I gave them 4.5 years of my time. I traveled 4 times within the company, and the one time I felt like I kind of needed them the most, it was like they gave me the door. They was just like, yeah, we can't do that. We sent you flowers, and that's it. We sent you flowers. We say we're sorry, but you need to get back to the work world.
Wow. And
as I stated, I write policies and procedures, and I do conference calls with people all over the world. So, my job was capable to be performed at home, but they insisted on having me in the office where there was a daycare at, and where I also had to see, the same girl that was pregnant the same time I was, who actually got to bring her baby home. So it was, just kind of, I just like, I know business is business, but, for the well-being of your employee, especially a loyal one, you would think you guys would find a way, not just legally my 12 weeks at FMLA, but we understand this is a traumatic loss. What can we do to make sure your transition back into the work world is smoother? And they just, from the time I returned back late March to July until I quit, it was just hurdles and hurdles, and it was hurtful because I was going over hurdles with other women who have kids as well. So,
and that's the hard part, because you would think they would be a little bit more had a little bit more empathy towards the situation. Yeah.
And sometimes, like, you're not gonna understand it till you go through it.
Right.
So I looked at it like that too, and it was just to the point where my husband was just like, but you're not even, you can't even heal properly, because you sit in the office and you literally, the same reason why you picked this location to go to, you have to watch the daycare kids walk by every morning and every afternoon. And then you have to listen to your coworkers talk about the milestones with their kids.
Right.
So, which is why I requested to work home.
Right.
For a little bit. Just, until I was able. I'm not saying I don't want no one else, to have kids. It was just hard for me to accept the fact.
I completely understand. I can attest to going back to work same reason. Like, I had another friend who was pregnant at work as well, and, she was very standoffish to me because she didn't want to upset me, but I had to come to her, after I, was able to get, kind of get over my initial feelings and just kind of sit down and talk to her and just be like, it's not you, it's me. Let me take time to grieve. It's not you, it's nothing against you. I'm happy for you, but it's just hard for me to see you this way because we were pregnant at the exact same time. So I completely understand. I completely understand how you felt in that process. So were you able to get your full FML, your full 12 weeks, and then you were able to stay home a little bit before you went back to work?
I got my full 12 weeks, but I had to go back to work after my 12 weeks, which I like for going back just to seeing if I could work from home. Mm-hmm. And, both times got denied. So what I started doing is just like those rough mornings, I just started calling out. Like, well, you guys don't want to let me just work from home. I'm just going to call out. Like, and within my 4.5 years there, I was never the call out person. I was one of the ones that I'll be like rolling in on my dying bed and they be like, oh, okay, you're really sick. You need to go home. Like, that's the kind of employee I was. Mm-hmm. And, just everything, like my loss changed a lot about me. It changed. I was no more of a yes person. If I didn't want to do it and I didn't feel like doing it, I started standing up for myself and saying, no, I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. And, it's crazy because I think going through such loss and tragedy has actually made me a better me. Mm. It has, allowed me to find that strength that I always probably had within me, but it took for something like this to happen for me to finally bring it out. Mm-hmm. And, so, I started being more, okay, it's about me. Like, I always say I wanted to do this. I put it beside me to help create somebody else's dream or make somebody else's goals come into play and never worry about myself. And then losing my daughter, holding a deceased baby, mm-hmm. lets you know that life is really too short. Like, she didn't even get to take her first breath. Mm. And, that's how I started living my life. Like, life is too short for me to keep saying what I want to do and not do it. Life is too short for me to sit here and make this person all of this money. And yeah, I get a little check every 2 weeks. But, it's time to put my skills, my knowledge into myself and into my family, invest in us. Wow. And that's what I had did, and it's going on 8-9 months now, and I just think I'm just such a better person than I was. And I believe she was already going to make me a better person, but losing her has definitely made me a better person.
October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Today's episode is brought to you by MyBabyExisted.com, a campaign created by me, Erica M. McAfee, to honor and show that our angel babies did exist. Go to MyBabyExisted.com to download your free meme and then share your pictures. Please post pictures of your ultrasounds, pregnancy bumps, positive pregnancy tests, and babies, and use the hashtag MyBabyExisted to honor your angel babies all month long. We remember our angel babies during the month of October and honor them and their existence in our hearts and minds. So let's transition into what you're doing now, since you have left your job and you are out helping other still birth moms who've lost children. So let's talk about that.
Okay, well, so I do have a blog, Still Mom blog. It pretty much, I first started off my first few posts just to talk about coping with loss, like coping with loss from my point of view, from my husband's point of view, and from her grandparents' point of views. And, like you mentioned earlier, Erica, you said that your friend was a little standoffish and because she didn't know how to approach you. I also, wrote a post about what and what not to say to grieving parents because I had a lot of friends who didn't know how to call me to wish their condolences. So, I created a post just for that. So, anybody who has any listeners who have somebody who's going through this and you want to know what to say, you definitely could check that post out at stillmom.net. Also, along with blogging, I have teamed up with the Star Legacy Foundation to create a fundraiser in my hometown in Fayetteville, North Carolina, called the Kenzie Royale. It's going to be a casino-themed event. It's actually happening next Saturday, and it will be to raise awareness to stillbirth and promote education and advocacy, because 26,000 babies are stillborn every year in the United States.
And black women, I'll interject, and black women have a higher rate of stillbirths than white women.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, they also say first-time mothers are at a high risk as well. So, just those kind of statistics, I felt like I already had 2 strikes against me. I'm a black woman, first-time mom, and my doctors never really kind of focus on that. People tell you to do kick counts or did you count the kicks, and I'm not going to downplay that thing, but sometimes you just think your baby's sleeping. Like, your baby's routine and everything at their certain weeks, but sometimes you do just think your baby's sleeping, and by the time you're 38 weeks, there's really not much room for your baby to move around.
Right.
And stuff. So, just things like that. I tell a lot of people, what was kind of concerning was that I saw my doctor that Friday, and then that Monday, like early morning Monday, that's when I got the news. So, that kind of turned me against my doctor too. I'm not saying he would have known, but one thing with the Star Legacy Foundation is that they're really trying to advocate for third trimester screenings, ultrasound screenings, because they do feel that majority of these losses can be preventable if we start doing screenings. Because I lost my daughter due to an umbilical cord accident. So maybe on that appointment on Friday, if we would have did an ultrasound screening, they could have seen that her umbilical cord was wrapped around.
That was right.
Just things like that. And so that's what drew me into the Star Legacy Foundations, because there's women who actually have went through these loss. Some, have went through it more than once. And it just starts making you question, like, okay, is it the medical field? Like, are they, since this is something that they're just so used to doing, they're starting to get careless about the routine? Or, like you said, black women are at a higher risk of this. Is it that black women get less, our treatment isn't as good as the white mom? Like, I'm not trying to make it a race thing.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I just think that it's just more of an advocacy thing, like you said, just being knowledgeable about what questions to ask, who do you need to turn to for this? If my OBGYN isn't receptive to this process, maybe I need to switch and go to a different doctor who's more receptive to, my feelings, my sensitivities, all of the questions that I want to ask. So I think it's more of an advocacy thing too when it comes to black women. But I have, that's a whole nother topic on just women's health that we face a lot more than others with PCOS, fibroids, et cetera, endometriosis, that can aid into infertility and just getting pregnant in general, and then carrying a baby full term. So
yes, absolutely. It's not like a bright side, but my really close aunt, it took for me to lose my child for me to find out she went through the exact same thing 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
And she was telling me, she was just like, hey, back then, she was like, I was young, I didn't have a big following with Christ. And she was like, so I was looking for people to help me fill up that void I was feeling. And she said, I didn't understand why it was happening to me, and I was so angry. She said, but now, 20 years later, it's happening to my niece, and I'm a woman of God now, and I can honestly sit here and say it happened to me, so I can be able to tell you that you're going to be okay, and this is going to make you stronger, so... Wow. It's just, and so then you start thinking, like, well, is this hereditary? Like, so it's so many unanswers, but that's why I really enjoy partnering with Star Legacy Foundation, because they want to start getting answers for these questions that we have. And it's been a pleasure. I've been planning this event since May, and, I was planning it when I was all the way in Florida, and then when the day I decided to leave my job, I decided to come back home to Fayetteville and really put my blood, sweat, and tears into finalizing all the pieces to this event. And to know that it's 9 days away, my first charity event, never done a charity event before, but to have all the support, and especially in small businesses who are sponsoring this event, it's just a blessing, because I just feel like this is what I was supposed to do this whole time, instead of wasting my time writing, policies and procedures. Right. So that's currently what I have. And then besides Kenzie Royale, my husband and I, we have a T-shirt printing business. We do customization of T-shirts and mugs. And also, we want a percentage of our purchases from our customers for our business to go back to the Star Legacy Foundation to help us with their support and research as well. So that's just really what I'm doing. As I said earlier, I'm just, now focusing on me and investing in myself and in my family.
Awesome. That is amazing. So where can we find out more about the Kenzie Royale? Is that on your website, stillmom.net?
Yes, it is on stillmom.net, or you can find out more on the Facebook page at stillmom, the number 3. There's a lot of more information about my sponsors, the different type of prizes we're going to have there, and just really why anybody should come out and just have a great night. Even if you haven't personally went through this, you just never know. Like I said, 26,000 families in the United States go through this, and 85% of them do not think about losing their child after the second trimester. So, especially, and I think about like all of these natural disasters that happen and how many pregnant women are going through this. And, we just never know. We have to be there to be ready to support our fellow sisters who may experience this.
I agree. So what are some resources that are out there that has helped you during your loss? Did you look at any other blogs or any other podcasts? Did you read any books? What are the resources that helped you through your loss?
Well, one that helped me through my loss, of course, my aunt, who I told you experienced Omega Jones. Also, my dad, he ordered me a book called I'll Hold You in Heaven from Amazon Prime. And it was a really good book just to help you not really understand, but just to be able to cope with it. It wasn't, a lot of people was just like, they tell you, he needed another angel. And this book was written by a pastor. And he kind of explains to you how you shouldn't, because one of the stages of grieving is guilt. Yeah. And that book helps you to not feel guilty and not to constantly go with the blame game. And then, lastly, it was really just, my husband. Like, I feel, when you go through that kind of those rough times, partner, but that's when you guys need each other the most. because no one else can really know what kind of pain and hurt you're feeling than your partner. But I would definitely let women know the Star Legacy Foundation, their website, starlegacyfoundation.org. Those women are awesome. They're amazing. They all have a story to tell, and they're willing, like, to help you do whatever you want to do to remember your baby. If you want to host something in your city, please reach out to Amy Kitt. She's the champion event coordinator. She will definitely help you coordinate, give you some informational packages that you can pass out to family and friends, or, you know, just anything. I think the Star Legacy Foundation definitely understands women who go through stillbirth loss.
Awesome. So, lastly, I have just what encouraging or inspiring words can you give to the other lost moms that are out there?
I would definitely just say, you know, every morning, just ask God to help heal your broken heart, and just to know that, yeah, your baby's not here in the physical present, but your baby is definitely watching you, and you just want to let them know how much you rock as a mom. So, you know, just keep doing it. When you're feeling down, just say, hey, my little one's up there looking at me. I need to go ahead and take over the world.
Awesome. So, where can we find you on social?
You guys can find me on Instagram at justcopy_cat. That's JUSTCOPY_CAT, just copycat. And on my Facebook page at StillMom3. And those are the only two social media. I'm not hip to Snapchat and all the other stuff. Instagram and Facebook for me. That's all I can handle. So those are the two places you guys can find me at. And of course on my blog at stillmom.net.
Well, thank you. I pray that, whenever you and your husband are ready to try again, that you can come back and tell us all about your rainbow baby.
Absolutely, Erica. And I just want to say thank you for creating this podcast, especially for Black women to be able to talk about it, because I think this pregnancy in general is frowned upon in our community at times, and then loss is also something that we are very silent about. So yeah. I definitely want to thank you for creating this platform for us. It's awesome.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I pray that this show was inspirational and a blessing to you. The show notes and links for today's podcast can be found on ericandmcafee.com/podcast episodes. Now it's time for you to tell your story. Visit ericandmcafee.com for more information on how to be a part of the show. You can follow me on social at Erica M. McAfee everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I would love for you to join the community. We need your feedback on the Erica and McAfee podcast. For those of you listening in iTunes, please go to iTunes and rate and review the show. Keep the faith, and I will talk to you next Wednesday.